Okay, this is going to be a video about Guilty Gear Xrd and my love-hate relationship with it. So on the one hand, this game is really great. It has fantastic graphics and art design, and they were smart enough to actually release it for the PC, given that it was just an Unreal Engine game. So unlike a lot of Japanese developers, the publisher has somewhat of a clue when it comes to these things. On the other hand, it's just a complete nightmare in terms of running on an arcade cabinet. And it's kind of ironic given what type of game it is. But I realize that arcade cabinet setups rather, are kind of a niche thing, and it's probably the last thing publishers are thinking about. But in general, there are just a lot of really offensive things about the way this game works. So for example, it has the ability to remap keys, and that's well and good, but they distinguish menu controls from the game controls. And so the menu controls are actually fixed, and you can't remap them, which is incredibly stupid when you think about it. I mean, if I want, left, right, and up, down to be the up, down, and left, right arrows in the keyboard for, when I'm playing the game, why wouldn't I want the same keys to be up, down, left, right for the menus? It's just Japanese insanity, basically. There's something about Japanese developers where they just don't understand how menu controls are supposed to work in PC games. There's just something inherently broken about the way they see it, because this is a recurring problem with Japanese games. The menu controls are just completely bizarre and unintuitive. I mean, so yeah, here's a little clue to Japanese developers out there. People that use computers press enter to select things. Enter, not spacebar. The spacebar doesn't select things in a menu in a PC program. Yeah, we press enter. So in any case, to actually get around all this bull crap, because the game has X input support, like, pretty much most games nowadays, you can use some wonky program to basically simulate make keyboard key inputs simulate an X input. And so you can come up with some goofy mapping to get around it that way. But it's just ridiculous that you'd have to do that. It's just completely ridiculous. If the game just had normal key remapping, it would be a non-issue. It's just insanity. That's problem one. And the other thing going on with this game is that for some weird reason, the way they designed it, the game actually sort of has like a bootloader. It doesn't just run on its own. There's basically a parent process that runs the actual game. That there isn't just one binary that runs the game. Which is basically hell for front ends, because front ends just expect to be able to run a program, wait for it to exit, and then when the program quits, go back to the front end. But the problem with this is, the program that you actually launch it with isn't the game proper. So you either need some stupid auto hotkey script, which is a huge, offense, or you have to do something in your front end to grab the child process of the main process and then wait for that to exit instead of the thing you actually launch. I mean, it's just dumb. It's just so dumb. Other Unreal Engine games don't work like that. Why is this different? Why doesn't it just work? It's so stupid. So yeah, go to hell, basically. I hate you, even though you have really good art. It's just, these Japanese developers need to get with the program. Learn how to make PC games. I mean, Jesus, it's almost, I mean, really, it's almost to the point where I don't even want them to make PC games anymore if they're not going to get it. I mean, it's just, it isn't that hard. It's so easy to do proper key rebindings. You know, the moral of the story is everything should be rebindable. I should be able to configure controls any way I want to. And if you're not going to let me do it, at least try to pick sane default, controls. Nobody's going to press a space bar to select something. It's the enter key. Jesus. I mean, and why would you assume that WASD, should be the, keys that control a menu in a game? We have arrow keys. Yeah, arrow keys. Jesus, it's just so bizarre.